This is Messy Brings Chaos. I'm your host, Molly.
I'm Bree.
And I'm Kelly.
Welcome to the Circle, babes.
Where
we share everything. Let's dive right in. It has been a week. I want to jump right on into a question that I have because I think I already have my answer. Is there anything this week that has like truly irritated you? Like gotten under your skin, irritated?
Just one?
Just pick your favorite one.
Oh, that's hard.
When someone asks me a stupid question, that really ticks me off. In general, like, don't ask stupid questions. Like, Google is free. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm tired of answering stupid questions. That's it.
Okay. Molly?
Oh, that's hard to pick just one. I don't know, Kelly. You're going to have to go first before me.
Okay. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days. This is why I wanted to bring it to the table, because I also wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one that was irritated. This was a reason to be irritated. But I find myself always doing more than what I probably should be doing. Just like helping others, like giving people more than probably what they're giving me. But I had a friend that was in trouble and thought I would try to do my best to help. Thought I was doing a great job. And then all of a sudden, like, the conversation just abruptly, like, ended. No explanation, nothing. But then the conversation picks up, like, 4 or 5 days later. And they, like, skip over the entire, like, 24 hours that we had talked. And, like, was trying to do my best to, like, support. So, like, that was kind of frustrating. Because, like, I did a lot. Yeah, it just felt like... They
took advantage of you and your time, honestly.
Legit. Don't give them any more time.
That has become the conclusion that I have realized.
Molly?
So I would have to say my car. My car has irritated me. Like, I love you, but I put so much work and effort into maintaining you, and you still cause me these problems. It might become a recurring theme because it is in my life. My car, she's older. It's about time for her to be retired, but she's given out on me little by little. Like, just a couple months ago, spent $1,400 on the brake system. To preface, the car's only worth about $1,000, and now it's acting up, and I'm really just trying to get as much life out of her as I can before I have to turn her in and make a big girl purchase. I've put so much work and effort into her, and she's doing this to me.
Sorry. That's
so
tough.
sorry.
Like, I don't wish car problems
on anyone. I would literally cry. No, I actually have cried.
Over a car?
Over a car.
I have too.
Oh, girl.
I
cried when those brakes started smoking going down the interstate. Tears till I got to the Sam's Club where I could pull over and call my father, who also did not answer. My mother did not answer. I had to call my father 3 times for him to answer.
But you survived, clearly.
And here we are.
Well, thank you guys for jumping in on that, because I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one that was completely irritated this week. But we're here and we're thriving. We have a couple of questions to talk about tonight. The first one we can jump right into, and then we'll bring up why number 2 is a question and discussion as well, just because of a certain situation over the summer. If you had to think back to like your exes, do you think like that you could be friends with your exes? Or answer that question, are you guys currently friends with your exes?
Can I start?
Sure.
I couldn't be friends with my exes, recent exes, because they weren't good people. My first boyfriend in high school, we were friends in middle school. Yeah, I just congratulated him on his engagement the other day. Him, I don't talk to him every day. It's a little bit more than acquaintances. We were friends for a while. So if I see him, I'll say, hey, hello, again, reached out about the engagement. In that sense, I can see it, and that I am okay with, because there's no longer feelings there. Both parties have moved on. It was young love. It was never that awkward, someone's got to pick a side or anything like that. Now, the others, mentally, I can't put myself back in those situations. So those I could not be friends with.
My answer is a definite no, and that's for me.
Period.
But also, I have a different definition of friendship. A friend is someone I would call for advice, want to hang out with again. In my experience, I wouldn't do that with my ex. I'm not really friends with males unless they're gay, or they're like older brothers, or that type of relationship. So I could not be friends with my ex. It's a no for me.
And that's fair. Everyone has the right to choose that and put boundaries where they see appropriate.
Yeah.
I think it's situational. The way you're talking about it, like, personally, I'm not friends with either one of my most recent exes. Like, the first one, the 2.5-year relationship, he made the line in the sand where he didn't want to communicate with me. I think that was for the best, because I think if I had continued that friendship, or, like, wanted that friendship, I probably would have wanted to get back together. Mm-hmm. So, like, he knew that that was going to have to be cut off. And most recent ex, I cut that off. It was going nowhere. He was getting a little crazy. Just wasn't meant to be on that end. I think, yes, you can be friends with your ex, probably more so if you were friends beforehand. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're talking to jump into a relationship or to get into a relationship and there's not a history before that, yeah, you're probably not going to speak, because what are we talking about?
Right.
What are we actually talking about?
Yeah, what do we have to talk about?
Those are your friends. I don't need to know about them, who you met through me. They're my friends. They're not our friends. So there's a difference here. All right, so now that we've kind of talked a little bit about, are we friends with our exes? Can you be friends with exes? We've kind of made the conclusion that, like, if you're friends prior to, you might be able to be friends with your ex. Bree, I want to give you a moment to share your thoughts. Talk a little bit about the question. Talk about why the question. Give us that situation as to why that we also thought this would be an important topic to talk about.
This came up at your birthday party. Of course, liquid courage was involved.
A little bit.
And this was really after, like the after party.
Yeah, this was
I think a question was asked, like, could you be friends with your ex?
Yeah,
or
I think it was very similar.
How would you interact if you saw your new guy?
Yes. Because I think the first question was, like, talking about how we, like, move past people in the club, like how people grope people, like that just kind of continued. It continued from there.
Yeah, and so someone had asked, how would you react if your new guy, like, goes to say hello to his ex or like hugs his ex?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't like that. I don't like that shit personally. And I think most women are like that, but I don't want to speak for all women. But on TikTok, most females are like, I want my man to ignore every other woman, and that's how I personally feel. Now, do I think that's right? Yes, but that's my opinion.
Yes.
And so that's pretty much how the conversation went.
The conversation did not end there, though. The conversation, I don't want to say, like, got heated, but it was very much like a line was drawn in the sand. Like, we had people that, like, heard Brie out, and then they were like, absolutely not. Like, you're supposed to tell me I can't, or I have to ignore them. Like, I can't hug them. Like, what if we're cool? They were not having it. Brie was like, no, like, they don't need to talk. Like, they don't need to chit chat. Like,
what do you need to hug for? What do you need to talk for?
And I think this goes back to the question, our first question of, like, can you be friends with your ex? It's circumstantial.
Yes.
If I just got in a relationship with this guy, we're at a party together, he sees his ex, it's him. Like, if he sees his ex from across the way, and if they've got, like, a touchy past, like, maybe they haven't been separated long, like, maybe they didn't break up that long ago, and, like, there were feelings involved, this was, like, a 2-year thing, I don't know that I would necessarily want him to, like, make his way to her.
Go out of his way.
Yes. Now, if she... Also, it's also the other way around. Like, if I see him and beeline towards him...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's an issue. There's gonna be an issue.
Why are you beelining towards him? Like, y'all are not together anymore. You know that he is with me. Like, especially if we're, like, publicly out there.
It's weird.
It's weird. However, if they're both just, like, they don't make a way towards one another, like, 2 hours passes before they know each other's there. They don't say hello, but, like, now we cross paths. They literally look at each other and acknowledge one another. They do, like, a quick side hug. I'm not going to be mad at that. Like, now if you, like, leave me to go talk to her.
Yeah.
if she
we're gonna
gets
have a
if
conversation
she gets your
afterwards.
attention before
Yeah.
and you're giving her
Yes.
my attention, no. No.
There's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
But, like, if they were friends beforehand, like, they ended cordially, like, there was no problems, there's no beef, like, cool, go talk to them, whatever. And
Say hi, say hello.
I also think it, like, depends, like, if they're, maybe y'all are just, like, dating, maybe y'all are, like, in a full relationship yet either. Where do you draw the line of, like, we're not technically dating, we're not in a serious relationship, I can't tell him no. Like, I can't be mad at him. Like, where is that?
I mean, I
if
think
he's
you
asked
know.
me to be his girlfriend, that's when I'm going to be mad.
Okay.
That's where my line is. I don't have a right up until I am, like, we are together. To care about that. Because I wouldn't want you caring about that for me.
Right. Yeah, I think the same.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have that conversation with that person. If you both know that you're dating and you're in this relationship, then you need to create the boundaries for that relationship to be successful, at least.
Honestly, you come down to it, whether you're able to be friends with your ex, or if you were to see an ex, like, talking about the ones we were just talking about, like, I wouldn't go out of my way to talk to either one of them.
Right.
I think it's very situational. Yes, understood that maybe a guy's perspective is different than a girl's. Like, maybe it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, we like, girls read into things.
Well, it's kind of like girls are going to, if you fight as girls, sometimes you're going to hold grudges for years. The guys, though, can go out back, scrap it out real quick.
Yeah.
And they're going to be best friends 10 minutes later down the street in a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a different relationship when it comes to friendship. They can go months and months without talking to their friend and then pick back up. I think that's weird. I don't think I could do that personally. We can be friends, but we'll never have that same relationship.
It'll be a different type of friend.
Right.
Friendship.
Right.
Okay. No, that makes sense. What about guys and girls being friends? Like, just friends? Do you believe that guys and girls can just be friends?
I do, because I have a guy best friend who is not gay and has a girlfriend. We are platonic.
Yeah.
And we snap. We have like 1,000 or so day streak. We were really good friends in college. We helped each other through some situations. You couldn't take it away from me. His girlfriend knows I'm no threat to her. I don't want that man. I've never wanted that man. I'm the least of her worries. I put it out there. I said, if it makes you uncomfortable, I will distance myself.
Sure.
And she was like, you offering that makes me feel better. She was like, as long as I never have to worry, we're chill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, you don't have any guy best friends.
I don't.
Yeah.
The only people who are males who I call friends are gay, or they are literally like my older brothers type of relationship. I met them through church. And I know I could call on them if I needed advice, but I don't see an instance for me where I would go out of my way to make a platonic male friend, because we just don't vibe. I don't think.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally have two, but one of them didn't start that way. So I guess there's that. That one's really hard to talk about, because it's like, yes, guys and girls can be friends, because it's been a very long time since it wasn't friendship. So I'm like, I definitely consider him a really great friend. And then my other one, very similar to you, Molly, was like, it's been platonic since the very beginning. Like, I love him to death. He's married. I love his wife. Like, we are all hanging out. Like, when I was going through the really bad breakup a couple years ago, like, I was their third wheel for everything. They were always inviting me places. I'd go to dinner with them. Like, they really, like, solidified me into their relationship, and I adore them for that for the rest of my life. Yeah, they know I'm going to be the rich auntie one day.
Her.
I did want to say, though, I didn't, like, seek out as a friend. I was introduced to him by my freshman year best friend, Charity. He was her really good friend. Charity went to a different school after freshman year. Austin and I just picked up. Yeah, I literally we picked each other up. Yeah. We were friends ever since that day.
So maybe it's because I'm awkward and I don't know how to...
Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just like the way you communicate or the way that you want things. Like, that's just not a friend, like, to you, that's not a friendship. I wish I had a
platonic guy friend, I'd be like, hey, can you go pick up some furniture for me? Like,
That
I would
part.
love that.
Oh yeah,
That part.
Austin did help me move
See?
and build quite a few things, and I appreciate you if you ever see this. Love you, long time.
I don't know. I'm such an
You're so independent.
Yeah.
You are so independent. So that's honestly, that's
could be
key. Maybe talking it out's what.
Yeah.
Put it all together. Okay, so let's summarize here. Can you be friends with your ex? Situational.
Situational.
Maybe.
Depends
Depends on how
the
you ended.
situation. Yeah.
Saw your ex, or your significant other saw their ex. Would you want them to go out of their way to like hug them?
No.
No. You see each other in passing, you say hello, cool.
That's fine.
Lastly, this is where I think we kind of contradict one another, is can guys and girls be friends? So like,
I think it depends.
yeah. And and it's hard because that one is like, we weren't friends beforehand and we are now. So like, it's very much like, what do you want out of it?
Yes.
Like, are you willing to just be friends? Like, are you better off friends? It's easy to do when you all have friends in the same circle.
Yeah.
You're going to see each other. You're going to end up seeing each other a lot. So you're basically like, yeah, we're cool. We're going to just pretend that never happened and just keep it moving. Okay, cool. Well, I think that was all of my questions, at least for today. Yeah. Is there anything that you guys want to get off your chest? Anything messy? Anything that you guys like have last minute thoughts on? Comments?
This was a great conversation to have.
Yeah.
Some people might see it as like a maturity thing, but I think it's more so of how accepting you are of other people's opinions. And I think that actually shows maturity.
Yeah.
So I'll just plug that in.
Plug that in there real quick. Just drop. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us again this week for another episode of Messy Brings Chaos. Just so you guys know, we are now on all the platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Instagram as well. Our link tree is on there, so you can find us everywhere. Thanks for sticking around with us. If you would do us a favor, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. It does help us out. And keep it messy, babes.
See you next
Bye.
time.